G'day everyone! New series of videos for you, Under the Scope, where you get to take a look at me and what I've been doing with Back to Basics. Let's go have a look. Just going over the ShapeMaker page. I'm just going to dive in and show you how it works. Just keep in mind that it's like a big calculator in the background. It's tallying up all the input that you're putting into it. That information is going to get pushed over to the cart, then through to payment checkout, obviously. That information gets pushed over to us. All the fields are required, so make sure you've got everything filled in. You might get a little gentle reminder just below each box. You may have left it blank or you need to select something. And it's always best to work from top to bottom and left to right. That way, one, you won't miss anything, but the calculations will appear accordingly at the top of the page. So let's just dive in and have a look. Materials and thickness. We've got a range to choose from there, the MDF and acrylics. I'm just going to make something as I go through this just to show you how it works. So I'm going to select MDF 3mm. Shapes, we've got a number to choose from. As you click on each shape, it'll load up onto the image side of screen, along with the information that it's looking for. So in the case of these circles, it's looking for the width. You can use either millimeters or inches, depending on where in the world you're at and what system you want to use. And then simply put your measurements in. If you're using millimeters, they need to be whole numbers only. If you're using inches, you can use a decimal point to represent parts of an inch. So half an inch, obviously 0.5. If you select acrylic in the 3mm, you'll also get a color menu pop up with swatches, primary, secondary colors there, along with transparents, grays as well, and some fluoros. So quite a few to choose from, depending on what it is you're trying to make. With the more complicated shapes, not that there's anything ever really complicated about shapes, but in terms of data input, something like, for example, circle and square, you're given the options for width and height or length as going by the diagram, as well as the internal hole diameter. So this could be something like putting magnet holes in square bases, that type of thing. Also, you'll have other fields in this particular shape for rounded or square corners with different radiuses or square. Given that I've chosen acrylic here, I've still got my color menu, so I need to pick a colored acrylic. That way everything's filled in. I can verify my size or change my size. Let's go, oh, we're on inches. See, it's already popped up with an error saying maximum allowed 31.5 inches. So I'm gonna flick that back to mil. So 50 mil by 30 mil, for example, and I'm going to go for 5 mil internal holes, and that's going to give me a per piece price at the top of the screen, again making sure all the fields are filled in. If something isn't, it's not going to give you the correct price, so don't panic. You just need to select all fields and input all of your data. So it may pay for me to just flick through these shapes just so you can see on screen what's required with each one. Arches, again, width versus internal hole diameter. And we've got the blue bars there representing each of those. The bean shape, good for terrain pieces if you're doing like forests and things like that. We want a maximum width of the bean and length, given that it's a curved shape, so that thickness, that width will follow through, and then you've got the full length of the base. Circles are fairly obvious. Circle in square. Again, we went through all of that. Rounded or square corners, that type of thing. Hexes is between two parallel sides for the width. That's all you need to give there. And of course, all 6 sides will be equal. Similarly with the octagon, except all 8 sides will be equal once we know the width between 2 parallel sides. Ovals, in a similar vein to rectangles further down, is a height and a width. You'll notice with circles and squares, there's just the one measurement requirement because we understand it's a square or a circle where it doesn't need both. Pills, again, much like rectangles, width and height. The rounded end is the diameter of the height in that one. So is that the right way to say it? Or the radius? You get what I'm saying. The shortest distance, we turn that into a curve on the end. So it's all nice and even. We've got our rectangles there again, width, height or length. The right trapezoid, a little bit of a trickier one. It requires 3 measurements, and then the diagonal line that you can see there in the image is just plotted simply between height and height 2. Good for terrain bases. Again, if you're keeping up with modern games and their requirements for base plate sizes for terrain structures to be put on top of, that right trapezoid is going to come in really handy. Rings, which is essentially circle and circle, great for putting magnet holes in bases if you play with round bases. Semicircles, again, with the width. Squares, again, relatively straightforward, square and square with the extra measurements. Rounded or square corners if you like. Teardrop, an interesting one. And I've actually got one here made out of the fluoro green acrylic there. The width is the widest part of the ball end of the template, and overall length or height in this case is tip to tail. If you want a pointed end teardrop, in case say maybe you're doing like blood tokens or something like that for gameplay and you want a sharp point, just select the square. All right, whatever the shape comes up to be based on your measurements, that will still remain pointy. If you're looking for templates that match fairly common game systems at the moment, go for 10mm rounded. That's just speaking about the rounded end again on the point of the teardrop. We've still got the maximum measurement you've already given, as well as the length. The 10mm is just for here. So yeah, I hope that helps on that one. And I guess equilateral triangles. Might seem a bit odd, but Aaron, why do you cut triangles? It's because customers like yourself message us and go, hey, I want a shape, but it's not listed. And I'll put that to you now as well. If you are looking over ShapeMaker, you can't find a shape you're looking for, get in contact with me. The contact button is behind this video screen here in the corner. Click that. You can attach a file. That only needs to be a sketch or a PDF or just something you might have that can show some shapes, some measurements. We can discuss backwards and forwards, obviously, via email and get that all sorted. We can certainly upload the shape to the website as a new shape to choose from. This sort of rolls over into the custom cutting aspect, which is what I'm sort of looking at on screen here now. Sometimes you may find the shape, but it doesn't quite match what you're looking for, or you need some adjustments. So again, going back to that conversation via email, we'll get something sorted, but we'll typically get you to come back to the ShapeMaker page to place your order. You'll pick a shape under our direction as to best replicate what you're doing, if we haven't uploaded a new one for you anyway. And then you'll come in here and you can put in some text, which may just be, say, see email with Aaron, or you may put in some details of this particular shape that you want built. This is going to add a custom cutting fee. This covers the design time from the team of getting things laid out and ready for you. That charge will go to the per piece price at the top of the screen. So using this triangle, for example, we've got 3mm MDF, we've got an equilateral triangle at 50mm across its edge and coming up at 17 cents. If for whatever reason I got you to come back to this one and place an order and you just wrote see email, obviously you're placing your order. I know who you are. We'll marry things up on our end. It's adding $5 to the per piece price. This is because I'm only adding one piece at the moment. If I go and add 100 pieces, that $5 is spread out amongst the 100, taking them up 5 cents per piece from 17 to 22 in this example. Then you can add that to cart. I can probably do that now for you just to give you an example. Give it a moment. It's going to think about it, tally it all up, and it's going to come out. There we go. All right. We've got the custom cutting fee in there. We've got the C email. We've got the price, 100 pieces that's ready to go. And then you can go to checkout. If you want to come back and add another piece, whether it be a regular shape that we already have or the next custom cut that we've got in line for you, come back to that shape. So I wanted 2 custom triangles. One's a bit different to the other. C email for second shape. I'm just using this as an example. But I want 100 of, let's go 100 mil triangles, because that's what we told you to purchase, because that was going to get you the right price. We've got the custom cutting fee in there, but I only want 30 of those. Let's add that to cart. That pops out. See email for second shape. Gets it all sorted, adds it up, gives you a total, and away you go. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. So with the description down the page, we're basically going over everything I've just spoken about here, just maybe some further clarification, as well as the properties and customer reviews, properties of the materials that we have here. If you've got any questions about materials, anything like that, get in contact. We're checking out on our emails every day. First thing in the morning, it's always getting done. So yeah, that's pretty much it for ShapeMaker. Got any questions, any comments? Leave them below. I'll leave a link in the description. Anything relative, and I'll update the video, the description of the video, with important information that you may find relevant. So on that note, ShapeMaker, enjoy.